Chris, thanks for being on my blog today. I really appreciate it. Prior to you meeting you and hearing from you what RPO is, I didn't really know what that term is, and I think my readers might like to know what RPO is, particularly with how critical talent is today. So explain to us what RPO is and how it can help a company find the talent.
So when I talk about RPO to different people, Kinetics, our company, is an RPO firm for growth companies. And when I say RPO, I always ask people, do you know what those letters stand for? Most people say, hey, I'm glad you asked that because I don't know what it stands for. So RPO, real simply, stands for Recruitment Process Outsourcing. And our flavor of RPO at Kinetics means that when you enter into a partnership with us, we become your recruiting department. So our recruiters actually recruit with the email addresses for the companies we serve. We figure out all the other components to that. So when we reach out to candidates, we're actually recruiting as if we're a member of that company's team. And that's an important point because when it comes to finding the right talent, when you're engaging with a partner, that allows us to really take on a lot of different things in the process. So our flavor of RPO means that from the minute you say that you have an opening all the way to the offer process, we handle all those details for you. So when it comes to thinking about the right way to market the position in a way that's going to get the candidate you want, when it comes to assessments, when it comes to like really good recruiters doing your phone screens, using those assessments, combination thereof, to get to the submittal point where we give you 3, 4, 5 candidates to the hiring manager for that open position. Us recruiting under your brand and us kind of really getting kind of embedded in your business is the best way for a recruiting company to help you get the best talent. Rather than us guessing what your culture is, what the hiring manager wants, we really get embedded and act as a part of your team. We ask a lot of questions. So a good RPO provider, the way we do it is an end-to-end process where we can really do the things that are required to get you the best hire available. And that includes all the process points in recruiting, also includes us helping you, if necessary, with your employment brand, figuring out why would somebody want to work at your company and then communicating that to the outside world.
You bring up a good point with the word talent brand. In your experience, how critical have you found for a company's brand to be in attracting talent?
Well, I think it's very critical, and we really view that as kind of how we help companies. We always look at what we call the EVP, which is the employer value proposition. And that's a fancy term. It sounds like a consultant saying that, but really what it means is, why would somebody want to work for your company? And so there's a process that we go through to determine that. And everybody talks about the cost of a hire, cost of turnover, and they're kind of related because the more turnover you have, the more your hiring costs go up. So what we found is that the best way to start a relationship for us to help somebody is to really get into that EVP, figuring out why would somebody want to work here, doing some content that we can use on the recruiting trail to describe the answer to that question to a candidate. And then what that does, as you might expect, is a lot of people, if we do a really good job with that and it's realistic, that helps some people self-select out, as well as helping us find the people that are really a fit for that culture, for that hiring manager, for that team in question. That's going to bring your turnover down over time. But I think the key is that it can't just be the employment brand that the company wants to be. There's some aspirational things in that, but it's really got to be based on reality. We really have to tell the truth. Why would somebody want to work here? And at times it may not be it may not be the exact message that the company wants, but if you do a good job nailing that, there's always value in relative terms working for any company. You have to find that value point and sell it. I think turnover comes down over time if you do a good job with that.
What are the advantages of, what's the proper company customer? What's a proper client for the RPO process?
So, I'll talk industry wide. RPO, when you start talking about bringing in a partner, to outsource your recruiting arm, you can really do that a variety of ways. There are big RPO providers that do it for thousands of positions, even tens of thousands of positions for the big companies. So there are big companies that do that. Our company is more really in line with probably 50 to 500 hires annually. But we have customers where we take that down significantly, and we do project RPO, where you could do as few as even 5 to 10 positions. It really depends on what the needs of the customer are, and also what the block of positions that you're looking to outsource is. So RPO, to also answer a related question, can be either full outsourcing. So let's say you're doing 100 hires per year. You could give all of that to an RPO firm like Kinetics, but you could also look at a block of, let's say, 20 to 30 of those positions that you feel like you're not really good at recruiting for in your company. And I kind of view that as a carve-out. And when we get carve-outs from a project perspective, obviously we're getting the stuff that's probably tougher. It's a lot of technology. It's a lot of things that a generalist recruiter might not feel comfortable or might not feel like they're the best at recruiting.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris, for that. That helps me understand RPO, and hopefully will help everybody else understand RPO a little bit better.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.